Because I'll do a little bit. And I spearheaded the effort for the marquee restoration.
So we bought the building, remodeled it. Looks nothing like it used to.
The ugliest Christmas sweater I've ever seen.
Me too.
All right, we are in downtown Osage. I'm still trying to find the live link on my page. Did you ever find it?
I got it.
You got it? For some reason, it doesn't show up on mine anymore.
Because you're not a special site.
Well, I'm beginning to think that Zuckerberg is trying to weed me out of Facebook. If you haven't seen any of the headlines or anything, I've been blocked for a while.
Yeah.
On and off. Random reasons. The first one that I think I can remember was I wasn't even in an airplane. It was a picture 5 years ago of someone in an airplane with a really cool cumulonimbus cloud out the distance. And they decided to block me for like 2 weeks. Yes. Oh, thank you.
Because of a cloud picture?
Because of the cloud picture. 2 weeks out to block. The next one was a rhino one that I posted 3 months ago, or 3 years ago. Got me for 3 days. Now I'm back on, but my accounts are limited.
What? Rhino meaning rhinoceros?
Rhinoceros.
Okay,
Like
I thought maybe you were saying like
an actual one.
Republican Party or something.
No,
Right. Maybe that's what they're thinking, right? Yeah.
Anyways, we are here at Studio Yoga Fitness. Did I get it right?
Yes, the studio.
The Studio Yoga Fitness. And we are with Bridget.
Yes.
This is fun. So first time I was here, we did the Town to Town Osage segment back in February when it was freezing cold.
Yep.
And I have been back a couple of times since. I've hired you as a personal trainer.
Yes.
You're doing an excellent job. However, I have not been doing an excellent job, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. I want to introduce not only Bridget, but kind of what you do. So let's talk about what your business is and all the services that you provide.
Okay. Well, I am a small studio considered to be just a studio.
Okay.
According to my tax lady, I kind of fall within the cracks. I am not a dance studio. I'm not an actual gym. So I'm just a yoga studio. And I also provide personal training, one-on-one, which you have experienced. And I currently have 9 clients that I meet one-on-one with throughout the week, Monday through Friday. And I also have other instructors that work for me that teach a variety of classes. So I have a few females that live in town that have other full-time jobs, but take this as a little part-time gig. So someone teaches turbo kick on Tuesdays. Yeah, that's a good heart. Yeah, it's a nice little, think of Tybo. Remember Billy Blanks back in the 90s?
Yes.
Like, yes, similar to that. So you're kind of punching the air, maybe getting out a little frustrations and a little aggression and get your heart rate up, sweat like crazy. Fantastic workout. And then I have someone teaching Tuesday, Thursday, early mornings, strength and cardio. So we get some of the weights from the back room and fling those around a little bit. And yeah, maybe do some jumping jacks, simple things. Always providing modifications for people if they don't feel like that jumping jacks or something as an example is not for them. And then on Tuesday evenings, I have a female teaching sculpt, same idea, more body weight movements. All classes are an hour. So when you come to the studio for whatever, whether it be personal training or a class, you're going to get a great workout, full body, top to bottom, right? Yes. And you'll sweat a little bit. Some people sweat more than others. Some people, they come for different reasons, obviously. So it's great.
Unbelievable that I think about it this way. If you did this 20 or 30 years ago, a yoga studio in a community of about 3,800, do you think it could have went smooth like it does now?
That's a great question. Yoga 30 years ago actually was just really popular on the coasts, right? Yeah. California, big time. New York, literally, I think that was about it from my awareness. So here, probably not. But the other fitness that I provide probably would have done fine. Fitness has trends, just like anything. But, being healthy is never out of style. It's always, we're trying to stay on trend. So, Yeah.
I'm really not that big.
Right. A lot of layers.
Yeah.
A lot of layers. So 30 years ago, I don't know. I think it probably would have been a little bit more difficult. Also because for females predominantly, that their working out was more Jane Fonda back then, and that was really new, the whole aerobics phase. So maybe that would have grabbed somebody, but probably not the yoga part. I'm not sure. It's easy to look back and go, oh, it wouldn't have worked, but you never know.
So where did the idea come from for you to start this? It's been just over a year?
Just a year. Yep. May 1st was a year. So do you want to go way, way back, or should we go? Okay, let's go back to the beginning. Right. So
How far is this? Like when you were like 5?
Yeah, right. No. Yeah.
We only have an hour.
I know, right. Settle in. Yeah. So I grew up in a suburb of Chicago. So that.
You can tell you're from Chicago. You know why?
Yeah.
Thanks, Dave.
Okay. The Chicago, not
Everyone else says
Chicago.
And the Chicagoans will say
Chicago. Yes. There's a little AW in there.
Yep.
So yeah. So I grew up there. And I went to undergraduate school at St. Ambrose in Davenport, originally going into occupational therapy, but I've always loved to run. I ran track in high school. I ran 2 years at St. Ambrose. So I've always been physically active. I love to work out, which I don't think a lot of people love to work out. So yeah, right. Yeah. So I've always sought physical activity. And I was part of a gym. I got a college membership to a local fitness center outside where I grew up. It's called Women's Workout World. Anybody that is watching this, if you know about Women's Workout World, you're going way back.
Too, because when was that? That must have been in the mid-90s.
Late 80s, early 90s. So I graduated high school in 1992, and
But to have that,
yeah, it was a huge deal. Yeah, and it was a chain started on the southern suburb of Chicago. It was great. And so anyway, I loved step aerobics, and they had a sign up that said anybody that wants to learn how to teach step aerobics. And I was like, sign me up. So I learned, I loved it. So then got married, moved to Nebraska, and
Why did you move to Nebraska?
my husband's work, he sold floaters and sprayers for AgChem. Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
in Nebraska? Omaha?
Carney.
Kearney,
Nebraska, right in the
Well,
middle.
it looks like it's Kearney, but it's Kearney.
Yes. And my maiden name is Carney, but spelled differently. We're going deep here.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, I went to graduate school at University of Nebraska at Kearney, and I was in the Department of Health and Physical Science. So I got my master's in PE, teaching PE and health. So in the state of Nebraska, I could teach health and PE. Then we moved to Kansas. But while I was doing my master's, I taught step aerobics as a part-time job. So I taught at the YMCA and I taught at the university to college students, and it was great and I loved it. And that's where I got my personal training certification as well. So it was all encompassing. I've always been in this fitness world and physical education world. Loved it. We moved to Kansas, Wichita.
No.
I know, very Midwest. That's about as west as we go. And I was a PE teacher at Minnehaha Elementary in Wichita, Kansas, Minnehaha Magnet School. Great spot, loved it. And taught that for, I think, 2 years. Time is fuzzy. So this was a while ago. Yeah, this was in, 1998, 99. Yeah. So anyway, did that. And then I had kids, so I stayed home. So I had 3 kids in 4 years. And I know we were busy. Yes. And I always wanted to stay home, and I knew I could always re-enter the fitness world, the physical education world, the health world. And so I stayed home for 13 years. And
Okay, so let's stop there and I'll
Yeah.
ask this question.
yes,
How did fitness change from when you left to when you got back in?
great question. When I left, it was all aerobics, like floor aerobics and Taebo.
Yeah.
Kind of that.
I've always still-
Yes, huge. And it was a lot of like fast-paced music. Music was huge influence in the aerobics classes. So when I taught at the YMCA in Kearney, Nebraska, it was really important to have good upbeat music that you could do step aerobics to, that kept people interested and they liked the songs,
Yeah.
right? So I couldn't tell you what the most popular song was that I used, but I had tapes. We used tapes, and that's dating me, and that's okay.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
So you used tapes.
Mm-hmm.
When did, I'm trying to think when, I mean, I had a couple of tapes, I think, in the early 90s, but you should have probably gotten rid of those tapes.
Yeah, then it quickly moved to CDs.
Yeah.
Yep, when we lived in Kansas, then it was CDs.
Probably, what,
Yeah,
93 that I
sure.
got, I think a little bit of TLC.
Oh, sure, right. Yeah.
Voice to Men.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now the cool thing is with teenagers is is like a old vintage Walkman, which I had one. I had a yellow one. It was really cool. I loved it. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, the fitness world, the goals are always the same. So the trend may change, but the intent, the reason why people come to a group fitness class is usually the same. 9 times out of 10, people want to sweat. They want to see their friends.
Yep.
They want to have some fun. They want to move, and they want to walk out of there thinking, yeah, that felt good. I feel really good. I feel stronger. I feel capable. So
let's talk about a little bit now of where fitness has gone.
yes.
So I think fitness has changed a lot because of where technology
Yes.
is.
Mm-hmm.
We have a better idea of how our bodies take in certain foods, macro, micro, carbs,
Yep.
proteins, and all that. How does that fit into the overall fitness of, if there is, I'm trying to think of how I want to say this. So for the foods, how does that work out over here?
Am I doing something wrong? Oh,
It's now.
It's not liking it?
It doesn't like it or voice today.
Oh.
Like it doesn't want to pick it up.
Can you hear me?
You can hear you through a bird microphone.
oh, weird.
Huh.
I'm more.
Oh, the fun of technology.
I'm more concerned about my hair.
Well, I can find mine here.
Right. Nope. No
You know,
need.
it doesn't matter if you just see this and no voice, as long as Bridget's hair.
Right. That's all we're concerned
We're
about.
great.
Yes.
Proteins, macros, micros, carbs. How important is that to eat healthy with the fitness?
Of
And what do you
course.
know?
Right. So I think a lot of times people are overwhelmed by, like you said, okay, so there's macros and there's micros, fats, proteins, carbs. All of that information is available literally at the touch of, drop of a hat, touch of a screen. You
many
could,
different apps that are
so many ways that you can find out how to track your nutrition, how to stay on top of your nutrition, all of that.
Mhm.
There can be called something analysis paralysis, right? Where you get to the point where you're like, this is too much. Forget it.
Yeah.
And we're going to get pizza.
Well, do you have one of those days where, okay, you're obviously huge in fitness,
Right.
watching what you eat. Do you have a cheat meal or a cheat day that you're just like, I don't care. We're getting Pizza Hut.
Yep.
Pizza Hut.
Sure.
We're going to tell you what, we're getting the best pizza here.
Yep.
We're going down the road and we're getting whatever we need to get for food.
Yeah. Usually on the weekends, not the whole weekend, but typically Saturdays. I don't think too much about limiting my diet. Personally, I have a boring diet. I'm not a foodie, which I know is kind of strange, but
Okay, so what is your diet?
I eat a lot of protein. So I like fish, chicken, beef, pork.
Is your husband stuck with that too?
Stuck with it. He's fed, right? He really doesn't mind. And if he doesn't care for what I've cooked, then he'll make something else. But I've been cooking for so many years, staying at home with the kids. I've got my system. They know they're going to get a good source of protein and fat, carbohydrates in the form of rice, vegetables. We love roasted vegetables at our house. And then,
Having a personal chef.
yeah, a little bit. I mean,
because you're getting like
a well-balanced meal.
Like Wednesdays for me when I was a kid, CCD, it was either chicken patties on obviously this was preservative, so this
Sure.
was a banquet box. And sorry, Mom, I'm calling you out right now, but it was nice. It's not a big deal.
Right.
We had a bun, or we had Jack's pizza.
So you just named the two things that my 16-year-old son eats regularly.
Okay.
So after he eats the meal that I prepare, then he'll have a chicken sandwich, heat it up in the microwave,
So he doesn't like that.
he'll eat it. He'll just also eat the Jack's pizza.
Is that the 6'10"?
No, that's the younger one, but both of the kids are, I don't want to control too much of what they eat. Exactly. And so I offer them the healthy stuff. They eat the healthy stuff and then they follow it up with a snack of whatever they choose. But I know that I'm offering what I believe to be is a very well-balanced meal.
Is this thought out when you're at the grocery store or even before the grocery store? Do you have men's health or women's fitness?
Right.
We're taking a look at some of these recipes.
I don't like recipes. Not at all. I cannot stand them. So I have mental recipes. I have like 15 that I could. Okay. The most popular in our house is called pasta, peas, and bacon, which is basically, what is it? Chicken Florentine or something. There's a specific name for it, but
Peas in there?
yes, I take spaghetti pasta and mix peas and bacon in there and put Parmesan cheese on the top. My kids love it. They think it's amazing. So you've got your protein.
That's your best meal?
Well, no, that's their favorite. No, that's not my best. Yeah. My best would be roasted vegetables, steak on the grill, and then maybe a side of rice or a side of pasta. Fruit. We eat a lot of fruit, which they know they're going to get up. They're cut up strawberries and with bananas and grapes, all that stuff,
What
you know.
kind of steak are you throwing on the grill? Is it a certain cut that you guys like?
That's a great question. We get a half of a beef from S&S Locker. Yep. And so whatever, oh, of course. Yes. We always do that. Whatever is on top, I pick it up. I'm not good at knowing.
Even if it's a top sirloin compared to like a ribeye or a porterhouse?
Okay. I do know that the ribeyes are kind of special. So I'm probably not going to be doing the ribeye. If my husband would be watching this, he'd be like, I don't know, T-bone or something.
Or New York strip or
Right.
T-bone, yeah.
Yes. So
They're all good.
they're delicious.
The
Yes.
top sirloin is probably on the bottom.
Yeah.
You get like the porterhouse and the New York strip.
Yes.
And
Most likely, I think we're doing a New York strip. Like last night, we bought some mushrooms from a farmer's market in Ames,
Ooh.
and on Saturday, and we made those. They were delicious. Lion's mane mushroom. Have you ever tried that? Very mild.
I'm not a mushroom guy,
Okay.
but yeah.
It was delicious. Well, we had put butter.
Psychedelics I will do, but
Right.
I'm kidding.
Yeah. Those are the weekends again,
Yes,
right?
again, only Saturday.
Yeah.
During the day when it's a nice
Right.
summer day.
Yeah. And we made burgers in our cast iron skillet, and I don't care for bread. It doesn't sit well with me. So
No.
we just eat our burgers with mushroom on top of it and salad on the side. And
What about a breakfast? What do you guys do for breakfast? Like, okay, a Mother's Day.
Yep.
What did you guys have for breakfast? Or
Eggs.
eggs?
we eat a lot
No
of eggs.
toast?
It depends. Like my husband will have some toast, but again, I don't care for it.
What kind of bread do you recommend again?
Oh, not pumpernickel. What is
I can't
it?
think of what it's called.
Sourdough bread. That's going to be the best nutritionally available bread.
And
Yeah.
again, we'll talk about the experience that
Yes.
we have with
Yes.
the personal
But I have
training.
to tell you, the eggs, I get them from Mabel Berkeley on Highway 9. So if you ever need eggs, Mabel leaves them in our garage. You can drop, I think it's $3 a dozen because they are farm fresh and they're,
that's cheap. That's nothing.
I know, it's good. Just letting you know if you're going to buy
Yeah.
some, you got to bring your $3.
Well, there are probably some people over there that are like, I get my 99 or my 69 cents at Hy-Vee. I'm not.
No.
I would not. I would
No.
never touch
Get the
that
good
stuff.
farm fresh ones. We used to have chickens at our house. We live in town, but we have 6 acres. So we have an outbuilding that we had chickens in. We've had probably 4 or 5 rounds of laying hens,
Okay.
and I miss them. But anyway, back to breakfast. Eggs. And I love bacon. I eat all that stuff, but in moderation. I'm not eating, 10 pieces of bacon. I'm having 2.
Oh, that's
I'm
it?
having,
See, I'll
Right.
make at least. Okay, so when I make breakfast, which is usually at night because I get home late,
sure.
that's my excuse because I haven't been working out latest because I've been working too much. I will have 6 strips of bacon and I'll
Okay.
have 4 eggs
Sure.
and I'll fry them up.
But you haven't probably eaten all day, and you are a man, so you're
Probably
6'2",
true.
like you said. Your diet.
I look
and
like
my-
I'm about 230, but I'm not 230. It's the
the
sweatshirt.
layers. Your diet and my diet are not the same.
Well, you're getting up in the morning, immediately probably having a glass of water like you should,
Yep.
and then you're having some breakfast, which I did not do any of that.
I typically, well, it depends on my day, but I don't eat right away. I usually wait about an hour or 2.
Do you?
And so going back to my comment of your diet and my diet are different, there's bio-individuality. And I think, again, going back to the analysis paralysis, the available information for everyone is overwhelming. And you have to, anyone, you being the world, has to find what works for their body. Some people, I don't like bread. It doesn't sit well with me. You could probably eat bread, right. But you, over the years.
I like the sour bread though, or whatever the heck that's called.
Yeah, sourdough. Over the years, everyone kind of falls into patterns that they are naturally drawn to. Like I'm naturally drawn to roasted vegetables. It's good for me.
I
My
wish.
body likes it.
I
craves
wish
it,
I could,
right.
Now,
If you're naturally drawn to junk food, fast food,
No, I don't like fast
Those
food.
are additives, and the companies that make them could possibly, I'm just throwing this out there, could possibly know that there are some additives in there that make them extra delicious and extra craving. So when you do have a bit of a craving, there might be, because there's a chemical component.
There 100% is.
I know. I'm not trying to spread rumors or anything. I'm just basing off of my understanding. Sugar's very addictive. There's a lot of sugar in processed foods. So if you can go more natural, you will have the cravings for the things that are good for you. I crave eggs. I crave, like I said, vegetables. I crave protein. I crave salads. I love cabbage. All those good things, because that's my body is used to running on that. But I'll eat a whole bag of cabbage by myself, which
You have.
yeah.
You have.
I don't like it every morning, but I like it. You drink all of that. Good for you. Yes. Me too. Uh-huh.
You guys are all making me look bad.
No.
But I really eat bread because of it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it just
You don't need it. Right. Exactly. Because the natural carbohydrates. Yeah.
I'm trying to find the live on here so I can share it on my page. You didn't share it on Christine Nelson, meteorologist, did you? Okay, good. I don't even have to worry about that. That's why you're great.
Okay. That's why she's hired.
Yes.
Yes.
So your fitness stuff, we talked a little bit about your food. What do you do on a week-to-week basis?
Myself,
Yes.
personally?
How many times are you working out a week? What exactly are you doing?
Yep. Because I am the main instructor here, I teach 5 or 6 days a week off the top of my head. So I teach all the yoga classes, which is great. I love it. Going back to my experience, I was in the aerobics world, the fitness world for years, and I started practicing yoga because being an avid runner, like I mentioned, I ran track in high school and college.
You don't have to brag.
I know, sorry. Only 2 years in college.
Oh yeah, you were bragging too. I forgot about that. You guys are all runners.
Yeah.
Bragging, I just want to know what you ran.
It's information. Oh, 4x8, open 8. Yeah, it was a middle distance.
Okay, yes, sharing accomplishments. It's
Right.
not bragging.
Yes.
There's no listed
I kind of agree, kind of don't.
Yeah. So
Not
my
everybody can do the triathlon.
yeah, right.
I'm clearly not. I can't even go work out.
But you try to be.
You're trying. You're intending, right?
Mm-hmm.
So after years and years of running, I ran the Duluth Marathon, all that stuff.
Whoa. You did a marathon?
Yeah, I've done 3.
Oh, okay. We're going to talk about that after.
Okay.
Keep going.
My hip was bothering me because I was right. So that's a lot of running, and it's my left hip, which is the inside hip on a track, right? Okay, you spent a lot of years doing this.
Why don't you go the other way?
I know. They wouldn't let me. Yeah, right. I was disqualified. So I started going to Balance Hot Yoga in Cedar Falls. And because I was staying at home and working part-time at the CRC, the Cedar River Complex, I had that availability. I would go once a week on Fridays. And it was maybe 4 years ago, and I fell in love with yoga. It's hot yoga. So the room is usually
Why do they call it hot yoga? I'm assuming because the temperature's
super
up.
hot. It's usually between 93.
You don't have to be a certain hotness to go.
Right. No, anybody can get
Okay.
in. They let me in. So that 93 degrees to about
Yeah, I don't know. You got to take this sweater off, I
Yes,
think.
you
to
won't
even,
wanna wear that
get in the hallway.
It can get up to like 103, 105 in there. And I love it. So anyway, I did that, practice just going there. And then they offered a teacher training, and I shot my hand up and I said, I'm doing it. So,
No one was anybody else in the running? Or was it just you?
no, there were 10 people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's
and they
10 of
picked
us.
you. Okay.
Yeah. But there's 10 in the group.
No, I meant as the instructor. Was there anybody else, or was it just you that was going in for the?
For the class.
Yeah, 10 people. So there were 10 student teachers.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I
So
gotcha.
you apply and you pay for it. I don't. You're making it sound like I was really special, like I was chosen.
I was actually
Because
the opposite
check
way.
cleared. Yeah.
He was trying to make you get explicit.
Oh, got it. Anyway,
That got weird.
so yeah,
She's gonna take that out on you.
it's okay. You'll do more squats because
Oh.
of that later.
What time is it again?
Yeah.
About 4:30. We got to talk about that. So another 6
Right.
minutes. We got to talk about the marathon stuff.
Yes. So anyway, back to how many classes I teach. I teach approximately 6 a week. So I used to have other weight training that I did besides that on my own when I was just practicing yoga, not teaching it all the time. And I find that I don't need to do that and I don't want to do that right now because I'm kind of tired,
Yeah.
doing all the other stuff. So this morning I taught at 5:15 and then I participated in PIO. Oh, I forgot to say that. There's
Oh,
a
yeah, you didn't
PIO
mention
class
that.
on Monday mornings, 8:30. It's a blend of Pilates and yoga, a little bit of cardio in there too. That's a great class. So
There you go, ladies.
yeah.
That's included if I.
Yes,
for my-
Christina's
You-
always welcome, as is Alana.
Okay.
You could come too. But yeah.
Cha-ching, cha-ching.
Right.
This is easy for you because
Oh
you're just
yeah,
seeing dollar
making money.
signs.
Oh
It's
sure.
one fee, and I can-
Yeah, that's right.
Right, but
Yeah.
it's just
But
cha-ching,
still.
cha-ching. Who's next? Cha-ching. Who else am I buying?
Right. So yes, that's my week.
Yes.
And that's why I have to eat well, because I need to be ready to teach and lead and feel good when I'm teaching and leading.
Well, and no
So-
offense. I mean, if you were like 400 pounds, I'm probably not going to come to your class.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
you got to look the part.
I know. And that's hard too, because,
If you're not the one in the
I
best
know.
shape,
yeah, I don't want to knock body positivity at all. I think that's fantastic. We need to be proud of how
Now
we
you're-
look.
now you're making me look bad.
No, but I think you're not going to go to a hairdresser who has really bad hair, right?
Right. That's
You're
exactly.
not going to get your house built by someone who has a really junky
Crappy
house.
house.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's not necessarily about the perfect body. It's about how healthy your body is.
I would
And so
agree with
I'm
that.
trying to create this healthy body and maintain that health as I get older. So
Okay.
yeah.
The big thing that I noticed, like for me personally and for my family, we all exercise because of making sure we want to live longer.
Mhm.
Like I had a grandpa that died at 40, had an uncle that died at 49, another uncle that died in his 50s. Most of my mom's family, they've all died pretty young.
Oh, okay.
Everyone has gotten a stent before 50, so it's a big
Wow.
deal.
Yes, it's huge.
Someone that's watching like that, I mean, what can you recommend to do? Is it exercise, food? It's all the
Yes,
above,
it's
probably
all of the
doctoring.
above, for sure. Number one, you have to get cleared. With any type of health history like that is a little bit alarming. That's not average.
Mm-hmm.
So the average man lives to about 74. The average woman lives to about 75, 76. So when you have that health history, for sure, number one, get cleared by your doctor that you
Yeah.
have, your heart is functioning properly, all your organs, all those things that are self-explanatory. But before starting anything, if you're coming from no experience in the fitness world or working out, whatever, the best thing anyone can do is walk. So when you are exercising, you are working both sides of your brain. So you've got your cognitive health, right?
Yeah.
You're pounding when you walk. So there's weight bearing exercises. Are you familiar with those? Anything that is stimulating to the bone. So riding a bike is not weight bearing exercise. Walking, running, aerobics, yoga, because you're holding up your body. You're using that strength, and they say it's stressing the bone. I don't want to make it seem like that's a bad thing, but it is actively stressing the bone. So therefore it is stimulating and it maintains your muscle mass. We've gotten to an age that you can't increase your muscle mass after a certain age. I think it's 40. I'm sorry, increase your bone density. But you can maintain your bone density.
Okay.
So most women have bone density issues just because that's very common.
Mhm.
And so let's say you're after the age of 40, you want to make sure that you are getting weight bearing exercises in. So going back to your original question, which was, where does someone start? That's overwhelming. And that can be stressful to think the clock is ticking, right?
Yeah.
And we think ourselves well and we think ourselves sick. So if you have this looming idea that 40's around the corner or 45, yeah, you
Completely
need to, I would recommend that you think that you will bust right through that and you're going to get to 85, because we create the world. We mentally create the world. Now that's not saying that it's perfect, right?
Mhm.
But you have to remember that what you water will grow. So if you have this fear, real fear of dying young or getting sick young,
Oh, I don't care. I mean, it is what it is.
sure, yeah,
Yeah.
right. But it's real, and the placebo effect is a big deal. And so we can think ourselves sick, we can think ourselves well. So by being active and proactive with your health, meeting me on a consistent basis and or working out on a consistent basis and keeping your nutrition dialed in, you're already taking action to go past 40, 49, like you said.
I'm doing one of those.
Okay.
That's the last one.
Yeah.
I try to
Your
eat healthy.
nutrition. Yeah. Yeah.
Talk to me about, I want to see what time it is. I think it's 4:30. Yep. Just about 4:30.
Okay.
Let's talk about the marathon stuff and some of the things you've done. So you were a track runner in high school and
Yep,
college.
yep.
Impressive. I think the more impressive thing is marathons. And I mean, what's it like going through 26.2 miles,
Yep.
right?
Well, you have to remember, I took my sweet time. I mean, this was after kids. So
Did you run the whole time or did you?
pretty much, I think I ran with some friends. We had a little running group here in Osage that we would meet once or twice a week and just run and maybe,
That's what you guys do for fun in Osage, huh?
I know. It's really crazy out here. We stopped halfway in the marathon to go to the bathroom. But I mean, it took me 4 hours and 25 minutes. That's not fast. But I did it. So, yeah, well, it felt like forever.
That's a long time to be running.
It was a long time.
What-
But yeah.
What was training like?
Oh, you know what? It's brutal.
Yeah.
The training that's what separates people a lot, meaning that a lot of people drop out because of the training injury.
Mhm.
There's such a risk for injury. So my first two, I trained a traditional Hal Higdon. Are you familiar with Hal Higdon?
I'm not.
It's a very famous running coach. He has programs that you can download on the internet. And I followed his to the T, the first two. And I think that maybe aggravated my hip a little bit. So my third one, I created my own training program and I only ran twice a week. And I did weight training and some stretching, probably not as much the other 2 days a week. So I was just.
You gotta always stretch. You remember that.
I know, exactly. And I felt fantastic. So, and I was older though. I don't know. I think maybe I was 43 when I did my third. So there's not a lot of people that, I mean, once you hit that 40 mark, you can really quickly win your age category.
I bet.
The amount of people just drop off because it's hard on your body. Your knees start to get hurt, you're bothered, your hips and your low back. And so I loved doing it, but I don't think my body can take it anymore. But I needed to find something to do because I love being active.
Yeah.
So
And you like the competitive spirit, I think, too, right?
I kind of do. Not too much. I fold quickly with the competition. I like a solo sport. I like golf.
Golf,
I like
yeah.
swimming. Yeah.
Any goals of doing anything
Like
remarkable like that? Maybe
marathon-wise?
marathon, triathlon, something like that?
I have always wanted to run the Big Sur Marathon in California. Looks beautiful.
Yeah.
And so I'll be 50 in 3 years. So I kind of was talking to my sister, like maybe I could do that for my 50th birthday. And I would take my time. And
You want to run the whole time?
probably not. It's very hilly.
Oh,
So I
Just
don't
hurts
know.
my- hurts
But
my
it just
leg.
looks so pretty. The pictures look beautiful. So from a marathon standpoint, not necessarily many goals, but for yoga for myself, I would like to be able to do a handstand, which I cannot do.
you can't do a handstand?
No.
I mean, not that I can, but
No.
I'm surprised by that.
I'm a little nervous. I think that's half of it. It makes me nervous. I can do it up against a wall, but I can't. I can't either. And I just end up going tipping over. So that would be.
So that's what you're working on. Maybe you need a coach.
Maybe I
Yeah.
do, Christina.
I can coach you how to do
Yeah,
it.
right.
Yeah.
I
I
know.
can still do it, but I can coach you.
Watched a
She can
lot of
just hold
YouTube
you up and,
videos.
yeah,
Right,
see.
right.
So why
Yeah.
not a triathlon?
I don't totally enjoy riding a bike.
Really?
Yes, it bothers my wrists. It's just not comfortable.
It's not the swimming.
No, I like swimming. I was a lifeguard in high school. I love swimming.
You're the only person that I've heard out of those three that's like, no, I don't want to do the bike. Like the biking is simple for most people.
Sure.
It goes usually the biking is the best. Obviously the
Right.
running, the swimming is what
Mhm.
everyone has problems with.
Yeah, I've got also though, I say that if the water's cold, I don't want to get in that.
That's why you wait until
we've
August.
reached, there you go. We've reached an age where I can be picky about
Well, water suit
yeah,
would be fine, I
right,
think. I mean,
yeah.
you can-
No, triathlon does not interest me. But how about you?
Thanks.
When are you going to start training?
Thanks for
your
asking.
triathlon?
So, Bridget and I did a little bit of work together back in February for the Town to Town, and we got in contact with each other, and I needed some help to train and do a triathlon. Okay. So I started working out pretty hard for about a month, and then I got in contact with you, and here's the deal. Bridget is brutal. You're a tough trainer.
I am.
You're a tough trainer. And I did a normal, this is how I would recommend Bridget. If you are stuck in a rut, you're stuck in a rut, you're stuck in a situation where you're not even sure if fitness is for you, or you haven't done any fitness for a while, you're the person, because you motivate
Change
like
it up.
hell. Yes.
Yes.
So what she's done for me is, I used to do a program that I've done since I was in high school when I was training for sports. Either I would do 2 body parts. As I got a little bit older, I would only do 1 body part. And then I would do cardio. You do something completely different. You will take a program and it will do every single part of the body, and you get like no breaks. So it's not only working your whole body muscles, but it has cardio in it as well. So where did you get that idea from?
It's what
And how has it been working?
It's been working good. It's been working really well. I do have to preface this with, everybody's program is different. So
why is mine so hard?
Because you are a young male that wants to run a triathlon or complete a triathlon.
True.
So you need to be ready for swimming, biking, and running, and that's literally cross training. So I've created a program for you, knowing that, again, top to bottom, you have to be strong, balanced, and I kind of don't like a boring lifting program. And that's right. So, but that's my personal preference. So that's why people find different trainers, and you can't find a different trainer now. You're committed. But.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to, because there's a challenge of having someone keeping you accountable.
Yes. Yes.
I've been, this is me throughout my life. I mean,
Sure.
it's just been like, hey, I work out for a year and a half, and all of a sudden I take some time. It's like, I got to get my butt back in.
That's very common.
Yeah.
Very common. A lot of people go in spurts and bursts, and that's okay. It's just trying to, because it sounds like you have some health history that you want to change for yourself. You want a different path.
Yeah.
I would start to be a little bit more consistent, because then you're going to feel better about it. That guilty feeling is almost worse than not working out.
I haven't had any guilty feeling yet, but now I'm feeling
now
it.
you are? Okay, good.
Well,
right. Yeah. I don't mean to make you feel guilty, but.
No, it's good that you do.
Sure.
Because I think if people that are watching and they want to get into fitness, if you're in Wisconsin, New York City, or Jamaica, you can still go with Bridget.
Yeah.
Nowadays, we have this great thing called the internet
know.
and virtual. So are you getting more and more clients that are outside of Osage?
No, actually,
I'm surprised by
I know.
that.
And that's okay. Because right now I'm busy enough with the 9 that I have. You're one of the 9.
Mm-hmm.
But really quick, I'm going to go back to the workout style that I do.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Have you noticed I ask questions and I don't finish
that's
the
okay.
answers?
That's all right. I have a tendency
works.
to do that too. I get distracted. So I have clients that are 70, 60, 65, 67, and 70.
Am I the youngest?
No. Yeah. And the base of what I do is balance and core. And you probably noticed that, not necessarily the balance part, but the core part.
My legs, I feel.
Your legs. Okay,
my legs is where I
will
felt.
also help you with balance, but sure, absolutely. And that's because you're swimming and biking and running.
Yeah. I would probably feel my core if I could feel my legs.
Right. Yes.
True.
So when I meet with my client, everyone has different goals, but everyone needs to be balanced with.
Can you give us a couple of examples
Sure.
of some of your clients, of what their goals are, just to help people that are maybe watching?
Just generally, yes. The older clients, it's balance for sure.
Yeah.
So when I say I'm having a 70-year-old woman do a lunge, you might automatically think of
She could probably do a better lunge than me.
She's actually really good. A really deep lunge. Well, no, but for her to step backwards is hard.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
to stand on one leg for a split second is challenging for anybody. But then you put age on top of it, and it's just naturally we're going to have a little bit of decline in those movements. And so most of their goals, the older, is balance and some strength, because there's an age where I have only speaking from watching people, but this weird time, I think, where there's like the nursing home is like right around the corner, and there's this desire to not get there, to not go to the nursing home, to remain independent in their home. Mm-hmm. And when you think about getting up out of bed, you pop out of bed, right? We all come up out of a chair, don't even think about it. But if you've ever had surgery and you think, I have to get out of this bed.
Or if you have a trainer that beats the heck out of
Right,
your legs.
yes, yeah.
For a while, I don't know if you saw any of it, but I was getting out of the car like this.
To avoid using your
Yeah,
legs.
I'm like,
yeah.
oh God, I can barely move.
Yes. And those,
I can tell when you push them.
sure.
Yeah,
And
I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago.
yeah,
I could
it's
barely
a
move.
functional type of fitness. And I do like that. And that's more of what, when someone doesn't come to me saying, I'm going to do a triathlon, I'm going to go functional. Because you have to get up out of bed, you have to climb stairs, you have to load your groceries into the car, load them back at home, put them up high on a shelf, all of those things.
Yeah.
A lot of people have grandkids that same age I was talking to you about. And in the beginning with one of my clients, I said, okay, you're going to get on the floor. And she looked at me, she's like, I don't get on the floor. And I said, you're going to need to get on the floor. And what if you, at the time, she didn't have any grandchildren. And I said, well, one day you might have grandbabies and they're going to want to have grandma on the floor with you. And she's like, oh gosh, I never thought of that. Well, sure enough, 2 years later, she had 2 grandkids back to back. And every time she gets on the floor, I'm in her head, gotta get on the floor and get back up.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
So I have a younger father, obviously. He's 54 and he's got now 3 grandkids. And he's never worked out since high school.
Mhm.
And the guy can move better than I
Isn't
can.
that great?
It's crazy to me.
Mhm.
Why? I mean, it just has to be genetics, obviously.
There's a huge genetic component. Yes. Lifestyle as well. So I'm assuming, and he's of a natural weight. He's not probably carrying extra weight on his
He's about
body.
5'11", probably about 190 pounds.
Yeah. So he's feeling good. He's feeling youthful. He's active. Maybe maybe he golfs or walks or whatever. But
maybe walks a little bit.
Okay.
But his whole side of his family, never been in the hospital, never had any, well, knock on wood, never been in the hospital, never had any injuries. They're all probably going to live until they're 100. Like we tease my dad. He's such a pain in the butt. He's going to outlive all of us.
Yeah, right. Well, there is a huge genetic component.
Yeah.
We're carrying DNA from our grandparents. I mean, it's real. They say, like you're cut from the same cloth. It's true. So, but you also have the capability of improving health. So doesn't mean just because of our genetics aren't the best, you can just say, well, I got dealt a bad hand.
How has fitness changed in 2021 compared to where we were?
Everything's online. Actually, so last year, obviously everything had to be online,
Yeah,
right?
everything was.
I had just quit my job at the CRC to open this in January or February of 2020 with all the hope in the world that this was just going to be great. And I was slated to open on April 1st.
Mhm.
And of course, coronavirus, all that stuff hit. And at the end of March, I thought, well, I just have this space. I didn't have to do anything to it but paint. And I didn't paint it. Mandy Murphy, she's the best.
Yeah.
So I propped up my camera, my phone, and
Who's Mandy Murphy?
Mandy Murphy does custom painting. She's amazing.
Okay.
Yeah. Mandy, I'll give
Shout out to Mandy.
shout out to Mandy Murphy, the best.
Okay.
So anyway, everything was online and I had people that loved it, which was really cool. I took advantage of the situation where people just sitting at home because we were forced to sit at home. Some people had never done yoga before, which was really neat that they could do it in the comfort of their own home, and from someone
and that will become the norm.
for sure.
Yeah.
However, this is what I'm feeling right now, the social aspect.
Agreed.
There is a huge component to, I mentioned like the YMCA that I taught at, Women's Workout World. People come to a class because they love it, but they also know they're going to see their friends. And that is helpful for longevity, not just for the class itself, the business, it's also for the mind. Yes, we need that social connection and we are social creatures. And even if it's for 1 hour on a Monday, it's very, very important. And I think that because we were forced to be at home for so long, and some people, not us, thankfully in Iowa, we are able to be out and about, but some places they can't. And I can't imagine how that pendulum will swing so far the other way when they are allowed to go out. But I've noticed a lot more attendance since January, which is great. But there's a huge social component. This room I mentioned was echoey. There's a tendency I sometimes have to quiet down a little bit, because
the ladies are getting a little
just talking. Oh, and we have men come to yoga too. I have a Randy and Sandy Norby. I bet Sandy's watching.
Oh, I know who they are.
Yeah.
You could use a little yoga.
Thanks.
Him and my husband are the Monday and Friday regulars, and Phil Colbert, he comes to on Fridays usually. So yeah, we have men, but I try to keep this front room quiet and we talk in the back, but still it's hard to not talk because people want to see each other.
Yeah, that's probably the only reason why I want to come in here and work out. It's not to look better, it's to talk.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so that brings up a question. How do I get my six-pack back?
It's all about the diet. So we go back to what you mentioned, macro, micro, proteins, fats, carbs, all that. Truly, if you want to change your physical stature or looks, the physique, if you will, it is literally 80% diet, 20% exercise. You can run all you want, you can swim all you want, bike. If you don't change what you put into your mouth, then that you won't necessarily lose weight if that's a goal, build muscle if that's a goal. You'll build a little bit, maybe lose a few pounds here or there. But if you have, some people have a real goal of 20 pounds lost or putting 10 pounds of muscle on and getting larger. Some people want that. If you don't get your nutrition right, it's not going to work. And you'll literally be spinning your wheels. And so what the old saying is, abs are made in the kitchen. You have to reduce the amount of processed foods and get all the good things that I mentioned.
Those roasted vegetables.
Those are roasted vegetables. They're so good with olive oil, a little salt and pepper. Yeah. And then,
some.
Yeah, but making sure if you really do want a six pack, that's.
Oh, I don't. I was just wondering for
just
friends.
Wondering. Yeah. You do? Yeah.
Well, you're like 20.
I know.
Aren't you 21? You
she
should have one.
I know.
Yeah.
She'll do one sit up. She's got her six pack back.
Yeah, no kidding. All right. So we're at, let's see, 4:46. Perfect time. Last 15 minutes. I'm going to call this the hot yoga questions.
Oh, okay.
Has nothing to do with hot yoga.
Okay.
We're going to speed through. I'm going to have some questions for you. You can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So these can be, one sentence, one word.
Okay.
You can talk for 5 minutes. All depends on what's going to happen here.
Okay.
So how hot does hot yoga get?
It can get up to about 103, 105.
Is that even healthy?
Well, if you have been cleared by your doctor, there is a real.
Very well said.
Yes. Yes. Ask your doctor first.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So have you heard of heat shock proteins and cold shock proteins?
I have not.
Okay. So your body has these within you. So when you are stressed in a heat situation, you're creating these heat shock proteins, which make you help you adapt to that heat. And then the same thing or cold ice bath. Have you heard of people taking an ice bath?
Before,
yep.
Yeah.
So you are stressing those cold shock proteins, which in a healthy body with doctor's permission, any type of stress, that's small stress, right? I'm not saying like go out and get so hot or so cold that there's heart attack induced, all of those things. But to stress the body slightly is okay. We're stronger than we give our body credit for. Sure. We're very adaptable. And so is it healthy? I personally think that it is because you are stressing that body in a bit. And you'd be surprised at how many people really, truly like hot yoga, all ages.
Even men?
Oh,
I feel like it's
sure.
a women. I always hear like women talking about like, I went to hot yoga. You hear in the grocery store line.
Sure.
It's like, that's great.
Right.
Yeah, but wasn't that that's like in the 90s when.
No, saunas are big. Yes. Yes. It's all about Joe Rogan. He does that.
Oh, he does that too, huh?
I do. He's good. He's got a lot of information. If you ever go to Cedar Falls, go to Balance Hot Yoga on the hill. Shout out to Balance. That's the best.
I'll be
Kara
honest,
and
that's
Margaret.
probably gonna be the last thing I do in
There's
Cedar
a lot
Falls,
of,
but
every
maybe.
class I've ever taken there's men.
Why don't you get one here?
Why wouldn't I create a hot yoga?
Yeah.
I would love to. I wonder if it would turn some people off. Maybe put in the comments if people would like hot yoga. I know there's someone screaming now right at the computer.
Yes,
I want hot
Oh,
yoga.
no!
And there's some people saying no.
You would probably bring on a younger demographic.
For sure. And so actually with the college kids home, some college kids are home. Maybe I could.
If you do hot yoga, I'll come.
Write that down, please. Someone record that.
I have it in writing. It's on video. If you get hot yoga, I would try it once.
Okay. So I could turn up the heat in here. This is not a huge space. It warms up quite quickly.
I'm not going to wear this. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. But I could if I wanted to, there are some heating components that I could add to the space. I don't think it would be very hard. The hard part is that that's not all this room is used for. So sometimes there's a class and then I have a training client within 15 minutes of the class being over.
Just open the door.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I'm not sure the client would want that, but that's something to look into.
Okay.
You're not the only person that has asked.
Probably won't be the last one either.
You're right.
What have you guys done during COVID to prevent anything that's going to transpire here that would spread?
Sure. In the beginning, I was limited to how many people could be in class. So we being me and a few friends, lined up all the yoga mats, and we figured that we could get about 8 in front and 8 in the back row and get 16 in here, maybe 20 if we were really cozy. So we cut it down to 10.
Okay.
And usually on any given day, the most I usually have is 7, maybe 8 on a really, really busy day.
It's pretty much
it's just naturally small group anyway.
Okay.
So, yep.
I talked about the types of formats you have.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I got a good one. Any embarrassing yoga moments for you or anyone else? Let's not get too deep into
I don't want to like call anybody out.
Well, it doesn't have to be.
Right.
You can call them Betty, Jane, or
Right,
Doug. It's fine.
right.
Whoever you.
I know. Yes. Right. I'll just say this. When you're twisting and like, a little internal massage with some of the yoga poses, there's air that is trapped in the body. And when you twist, sometimes the air gets released.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else? Just that's probably the most embarrassing one.
About good enough.
Okay. Let's see. If you have never tried yoga, how do you start?
Oh, so easy. Okay, so most people that have never tried yoga come here and they contact me beforehand, and then I'll say, come to class a little bit early, and I'll kind of give them a rundown of some poses. If they have some physical limitations, maybe they have a shoulder that hasn't worked, for a while, and I just kind of help them feel a little bit more comfortable knowing that you can do it the way you want to do it. I'm guiding you, but it doesn't have to look exactly like me.
I won't.
Right, and that's okay.
We've tried that already.
Right, yes, we have. But YouTube, Yoga with Adrienne, she's so good. She's clear, she's concise. She's got about 30-minute yoga practices, it's called. So anybody wants to start and just kind of dabble in it and watch Yoga with Adrienne before they come to me, they will even have just that much more knowledge.
Okay. You do like sculpting classes, correct?
Mm-hmm.
We've talked a little bit about that, haven't we?
Yep.
How in depth do you go when you actually have a fitness setup here? I mean, do you have someone come once a week and then you have them do 3 or 4 times outside? Like,
are you saying like
sculpting, fitness, yoga, anything like that?
Comes to a public class. Then do I tell them to do things outside of this time?
Yeah. Is there a mix?
I recommend that people work out or are moving outside of the public class or even outside of a personal training session.
Mm-hmm.
I like to give them information. If you come to a personal training session, you will be given some type of information to take home. And sometimes people
You're not going to let them leave before they get a workout in either, I bet.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
I'm going to have to sneak out of here after this.
Right. So it depends on also the person's goals. So if people come to a public class and they ask the teacher, like, what should I be doing between now and next Tuesday? My instructors are well-versed enough into telling them, what's available here or what they could do at home, general information. But it's surprising sometimes that people think 1 hour on a Tuesday is good enough. It's kind of not. We need to be more active than we think we should be. And most people try, but it's better to move.
It is. You've mentioned this a little bit, but how many men do you have show up again? You have more women, I think, or more females, right?
Yep. Predominantly it's females, but I have 3 regulars that come twice a week. Randy and my husband, and then one of them comes once a week. So on most morning, like Monday and Friday mornings, there's going to be at least one gentleman here.
Okay. Do you take a protein powder of some sort?
I don't, only because I don't prefer the taste, but a lot of people do.
How do you get your protein?
By meat.
By meat?
Yeah, or I love cheese. and sometimes nuts, peanuts. But I like chicken and salmon and pork and all that stuff.
So it's a nice mix. They say, what, 0.8 grams of protein you need per pound of body weight?
Yep.
Is that approximately correct?
That is
that still
approximately
good?
correct, yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Just make sure you're drinking water as well. Hydration, I think, is often overlooked. But as is salt, I'm not a doctor, but we do need salt. We are electric, and salt helps with that electricity. And so it's okay to, especially if you're running, biking, swimming.
Yeah, you need salt.
Yeah, you need some
sodium.
good salt.
Food choice on a date with your husband. What do you? It can be anything. It can be your
Boring.
cheat.
Okay.
How about a day that it's going to be a cheat day, and there's going to be a day that, hey, I got to stick to it. I have to work out. So let's go cheat day.
Cheat day. Was Saturday. Our daughter's boyfriend graduated from Iowa State, so we went to Hickory Park, and it was delicious. And I got a Reuben. It was so good. So I ate half of it, and then I brought the rest home, and then ate that at night.
Okay.
So that was great. I don't love fried food. It doesn't sit well with me. So then I got the side salad with the Reuben. And then on a regular old day, let's say it's a Tuesday night, we went out to eat, I would get grilled chicken or a salad. I like salads. I think you can throw a lot of junk on a salad to make it not healthy, but you can also have a really good balanced salad. So I'm getting all the things that I need.
Chicken or beef? What's your favorite?
Beef.
Beef?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of beef?
I like ground beef and I like steak.
Okay.
It keeps me full really for a long time too. So like if I have it at, let's say, noon, I'm typically not very hungry at dinner. So then I'll have a small salad, maybe with some fish or some cheese on it or leftover chicken. But the good, healthy fats, healthy proteins that you get are going to keep you full longer, and it's providing you with what you need.
When do you eat the most? Is it at lunch, breakfast, or dinner?
Me personally, lunch.
Lunch?
Yes.
And
I'm
then
not that hungry in the morning. I'll have an egg. And then I have a pretty big lunch around 1 and then a small dinner.
Okay. How about this one? A malt or a really unhealthy smoothie from Starbucks? Or any other place?
You're saying like which is
kind of a
better
treat.
for me? Oh,
What you prefer.
Yeah.
What you prefer?
Probably a malt. I don't like sugar that much though. I would take a bag of chips.
Ooh.
Oh, I'd eat the whole bag.
What kind of chips do you?
Salt and vinegar. So
like a
good.
Lay's or Ruffles of some sort?
Doesn't matter. I do not discriminate. It's got salt and vinegar on it. I'll eat it.
Fruit or vegetable?
Vegetables.
Okay. What's your favorite vegetable?
Broccoli.
I love broccoli too.
I wish I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's delicious. I know.
Well, yeah, you can throw it all in the garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love potatoes. Yeah. Fruit? What's your favorite fruit?
I don't know, probably grapes.
Have
I'm
you,
boring with that.
have you tried the cotton candy grape?
Yes, those are really good. They're
Yeah.
so big.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are really
They're pretty
good.
delicious.
Mhm.
All right, let's change subjects a little bit.
Okay.
Now, this is a trip for your family, not just you. Would you prefer a Mexico, Central America, or Canada, Alaska?
Oh my gosh. I trained in hot yoga. So if you notice the theme, I like to be hot. So I will never go anything north of the Minnesota border. I have been, but I don't want to. I
Okay.
like being hot. Yeah.
What's your dream trip?
Beach, anywhere beach.
It can be anywhere. We can
Florida,
bring
North
you to Lake
Carolina,
Michigan. Huh?
Tulum. Exactly. Beach. Oh, it needs to be sunny and warm though. I see what you
Okay.
did there.
Okay.
Yeah, not
Just-
Michigan and Lake Michigan in January.
No.
Definitely a warm beach.
Sauna or spa?
You mean like
What do you
spa,
prefer?
like a hot tub?
Yeah.
Or a sauna? My husband and I own a infrared sauna.
Jeez.
Mhm. Because I was really cold a couple winters ago, and I said, we have to fix this. And so we found one on eBay. It was great. Yeah. Uh-huh.
What you got to do?
Yeah.
Are you more into journaling or reading?
Reading.
What are you reading right now?
4 Winds. Kristen Hanna. It's about the Dust Bowl.
Oh.
Oh, I feel so terrible for those people that lived through the Dust
Good
Bowl.
old 1936.
Yeah, I feel like that is my house sometimes, just a big dust bowl, but nothing like what it actually was.
My house is actually
Right, yeah.
What type of pizza do you get? Like the ingredients on there. When do you get a pizza?
We just went to Limestone on Friday night, and we had the margarita pizza, I think, with balsamic vinegar on it.
And it's got like the basil. and
Yes,
tomatoes
I
and
think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good.
And the
Any-
slices of mozzarella, not just the
Just
shredded
so delicious. They've got it figured out over there. And this is coming from a Chicago girl. They have good pizza. Anything that does not have olives. You have an olive on anything that touches all of my food, it's over. It's ruined.
Is that like your
disgusting.
Is that like your?
It's a deal
okay.
breaker.
Is it?
It ends it
Completely.
totally.
What's it
Throw
going to take
away.
for you to eat a olive?
$1 million.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay.
Okay.
Green or black?
Oh, gross. They're so bad.
Are you a morning or an evening person? Are you a night owl or a morning person?
I'm a day person. I do teach.
You don't like the mornings or the.
I know.
What do you like in the mornings? Are you a pain in the butt? Or are you okay
No,
when you
I'm
get up?
quiet. I'm very, very quiet. I don't want to talk too much. I want to hold my coffee and drive to class because I teach at 5:15, so I leave the house by 4:45. And so I'm just, one eye open.
Just so I know if I ever come to one of these, do you
Yep.
shower before?
No,
Okay.
no need.
Just
You don't
asking.
shower before yoga, you shower
After,
yoga.
yeah.
She's got to be
Right.
Maybe
but you
she's
do
got to have that
brush your
professional
teeth.
look.
You do have to
Yeah.
brush your teeth. Yes.
Not that I.
Right.
Okay. Favorite snack?
Probably peanuts.
Okay.
That's
Peanuts.
boring. Or
It
pop,
is.
or the chips. It's
Or the
salty. though.
chips.
Anything salty.
Last question.
Okay.
Favorite summer holiday?
My family, my husband and our 3 kids, every 3 years we go to South Carolina or North Carolina, one of the Carolinas. We just get a big old house with his side of the family as well. And
What's that like? You like your side of the family?
Oh yeah, they're great.
Are they?
If
you
they
like them more
weren't,
than your family?
Oh, I like them all equally.
I just can't get you, can I?
So we get a big house. We all stay in the house. We get to walk right out the front door to the beach and sit on the seat. Goes back to the beach and sunny. So that we have some great memories of that. And that's fun. So
And that'll be a tradition that'll probably continue for years.
I would love that. Yes, this summer we're going to the Ozarks instead of North Carolina,
Okay.
just because of time restraints and driving. And so, but I'm excited about it. Same thing. There'll be some form of water and a boat, and yeah.
All right, where can we find you?
718 Main Street, Osage, Iowa, and on Facebook, The Studio Yoga Fitness. And I have my phone number on there. You can send me a message. I always respond to all the questions. I get a lot of questions. A lot of people are interested. One thing that I find interesting is I get a lot of in-depth questions, like, tell me what it's like. How long is it? Is it hard? And then they don't show up. And I think, I don't know. Did I make it seem intimidating?
Do you know where these people live? Mm-hmm. Why don't you go
Should we
knock
just
on?
go bring the camera to their house?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Is it anyone I know?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, it's just interesting because I think people are interested, but it's just taking that first step of coming and, jumping in. And it's a very accepting group. Every class is different. So like if you come on Mondays or Friday, 5:15, like you committed to,
You mean
yeah,
Christina.
right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You'll see the same people, but
Take a picture. Let me know how it is.
sure, of her in the front. But there are times
Wherever.
where, there's a different group and every person is like, yay, glad you're here. So it's not an intimidating group. I try really hard to not be an intimidating instructor. And so
To most people.
yeah, I don't know. We'll see. So anyway, thanks
good.
for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, it's
And
great.
it was a good time, and hopefully everyone learned something. Time to go.